Hi, you guys. Leanne Holitza here at the Healing Studio in Broomfield, Colorado. We are getting ready for our weekly Oracle check-in. If you haven't met me before, I'm Leanne Holitza. I am an energy healer and teacher in a place called the Healing Studio. And my business is called Insightful Inspirations. Most of my time is spent doing one-on-one healing sessions, but we also have classes that teach you how to do things yourself and just some fun events. Insightfulinspirations.com is where you can find out about that. Those of you who are beginning to join, hi everybody. Those of you who haven't joined before, just have to type me please in the comments and I will get you a card for the week. This will be just basically what's the focus of the energy of the week, okay? So nothing too specific. I'm going to use the Shaman Stream today from Colette Baron Reed and Alberto Villardo. I'm probably saying that wrong. But all right, you guys. So let's do this. Let's see what the week brings, and we'll go from there. All right, so the first card is a devotion card sideways. All right, so what this is basically saying is that the beginning of the week is kind of calling out where you are spending too much time on places you don't intend to be building up with love. So maybe you've been focusing on fear or stress or lack. This card is basically calling that out and saying, be devoted to the things you want to create more of. The focus for the week is focus. Sideways. So this is intentionally blocking off time to give yourself some centered focus. Okay, this is an action kind of feeling here where it's saying give yourself the chunks of time to focus on certain things and don't let yourself be distracted during those times. Be devoted to the focus. And then at the end of the week, okay, we got evolution sideways. Okay, not necessarily great with the devotion card also being there. Just because it's kind of like things are always changing, we can't help it. There's no getting around it. But the evolution card kind of being sideways kind of says things are not necessarily blossoming yet. Doesn't feel like you're moving into full form yet this week. All right. All right. Now here is your first personal card. All right. We are going to do the personal card for the week. If you're watching later, this is your card and you can watch and see what other cards resonate. If you're watching live, this is your first card, okay? So here, everybody, go ahead and tune in. 1, 2, or 3. All right, now with these cards, we're going to go ahead and acknowledge what one is resonating with you the most. If you picked 1, you are working with the eyes of the eagle. So you're rising above the fray. Now, if you think about that devotion and that focus, you're kind of zooming out, okay? Try to see the big picture, come up and out and away from the everyday, and just kind of see if you can give yourself a bigger picture view. If you picked 2, you're going to work on beginner's mind this week, okay? Learn something new or start over. Just don't do it the way you used to do it. Do it somewhere a different way. Give yourself a chance to really just start fresh. If you picked 3, you're going to work with stars in the sky, limitless possibility. Okay, so the limitless possibility energy basically is just saying it's a good week for you to vision if you picked 3. Okay, sit around and visualize what could be possible. All right. Let's get started. Hi, everybody. If you haven't already, type to me, please, in the comments. That's how you're going to get your card for the week. I'm going to go down the comment list. You guys are listed by your YouTube handle, so I'll do my best to say who I'm reading it for. We're going to start with Kimberly S. Kimberly, you're going to work on the lay of the land this week, okay? So some ancestral wisdom, kind of seeing what you can bring forward that would be maybe a practice that your ancestors would do that you would like to bring alive again, okay? Maybe it's a ritual, maybe it's a gratitude practice, maybe it's just connection with the land. But maybe go see if you can figure out what kind of practice you could do this week that would bring alive your ancestors. Aaron T., you got the dust devil. Okay, you're moving out of stagnation. Okay, so things are starting to get moving, but it kind of feels a little chaotic, right? Because when things are moving like when they've been stuck for a really long time, there might be a lot of dust devils, a lot of dust bunnies in those places that you haven't been paying attention to. All right, so just give yourself a little grace about that. Miranda, you're working with the winter's dream. Okay, so this is a gestation period for you. So a week to not necessarily bring things out into the land of everybody being able to see. Give yourself a minute to first just say, I am going to put myself in alignment with letting things grow, letting things simmer, if that makes sense. Elizabeth R., you're going to be working with the repairing the veil and forgiveness. Okay, so this week, a little bit of like acknowledging that certain things might have happened in your favor, even if they didn't feel like they were in your favor. I really like, and I've mentioned this before, the game Satori to play those things out, sometimes to write the news story. Let me know if you want to play. But we are definitely being asked to kind of see things from a different light rather than from a victim energy. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you've got the spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. Okay, so a little adventure this week. Go where you get invited. Have fun. Be playful. See what kind of catches your eye for things to do. Donnie, you're going to work with the whale song. So you're going to kind of resonate with what's going on with your life, with the world, with yourself, and see if you can find that resonance that feels very supportive and consistent. Okay. Diane S., you are going to be working with the Joyful Muse. Just a little inspiration, a little playtime, do some fun things to just get yourself inspired. Give yourself a little time to be just enjoying things, It's sometimes we just have to do everything so seriously. This card is basically saying, don't be silly. All right, seriously wonderful, Courtney. You are working with the spirit of the river too, so movement towards adventure. Second time we've seen that, guys, so it might be for all of us. So keep an eye out, because if you stick around till the end, you're going to see that some of these cards hang out and give us a 3 times a charm kind of thing, and then that means that the message is for all of us. But basically, Courtney, get out there, have some fun, say yes to the invitations, okay? Heidi M., you've got a jeweled web of connectivity this week. Work through your network, okay? See who you can reach out to, who you haven't talked to lately. Check in with people from your past. Just kind of noticing that you're still really connected to a lot of different kinds of people throughout your life that maybe even you haven't been tending to. Hannah and Sierra. Hannah, you're going to work with radical acceptance. All right. So, beloved, this is beloved. You are going to work on really mainly radically accepting yourself. Okay. Really giving yourself a chance to just say, I really can love myself enough to put myself in alignment with the things that I love and to be noticed in those things. Sierra, you're going to be focusing on the Joyful Muse. Okay. Second time we've seen that one. So a little inspiration, a little playtime, just having some fun, not doing anything too serious. Maybe pick up a paintbrush or a crayon. Okay. Alaska, Cynthia, you are working with Watchers. So it's transpersonal. Okay. So this is really literally, you're going to be working with those higher crown chakra energies. Maybe talk a little bit more with your guides. Give yourself a chance to also kind of challenge the guides for synchronicity, ask for signs, and then pay attention to those signs. Okay. Eli and Taryn. Eli, for you, the focus this week is deep quiet. So meditation and stillness. Okay. Wherever you can find it, that's going to be the best thing for you right now. All right. Just pretty straightforward, right? Taryn, you're going to want to focus on the benefactor. Okay, grace and generosity. So this is kind of one of those messages of like, enjoy the people around you. Sometimes people around you can give you, help you, feel loved by taking you out to dinner or by, making you a meal so that you can just receive. Be a good receiver this week. Sister Janice, you're working with the drifter. So you've got experiencing life as it comes, okay? So you're just literally going to just let yourself float through and see what that brings you, okay? Don't have too much direction, although we're being told to focus, but maybe focus on where you're drifting. Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you got the dream thief. Okay. So refusal of the call. This is kind of like sometimes this card says to me, you're being too busy. You're busying yourself with the wrong things. Your actual call or is there, but you're not doing it because you've got other things on the plate that you're putting as priority. So notice what's maybe taking your dreams away. Okay. Matthew, you've got new beginnings going on. Okay. So you got the moon maiden. So give yourself a minute to really enjoy the new beginnings. Sometimes we don't get a lot of those, sometimes it's in life. It's only new beginnings only happen at, certain times in our life. So it's really worth embracing. All right. All right. Hi, Marita. You know what to do. Just type me, please. All right. Coming to this list here. All right. Let's see. Now I'm to Catherine S. You got some root girl stuff to do. All right. The disowned self. This is basically where you have sacrificed yourself or left yourself behind, worked really hard to move past those vulnerable spaces because they didn't feel safe or worthy of bringing forward. Go get them because it's time. Maybe little work there. Kalina, you're going to work with the spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. You guys, this means third time's a charm. Let's pull up what Colette says about this card. All right. It says movement towards adventure, addiction to problems, allowing and trusting the current. The spirit of the river invites you to step into the flow, to stop swimming against or avoiding the current. Allow the waters to carry you downstream, away from the eddies and whirlpools. It's time for you to heed the call of a new adventure that is waiting for you. Stop working on the problem for a while. The issue is not what it seems. It is your addiction to fixing what has gone bad that is consuming so much of your time. Work to create a greater good, and the bad will resolve itself on its own. All right. So that's for all of us, you guys. Going to pay attention to the bad. Whatever problems you've been focusing on and worrying about, you're going to just give yourself a chance to say, that's not for me to worry about at this time. And I'm going to just go with the flow and see why I'm where I am. Okay. All right. Tiff. Third time's a charm for the joyful muse. Okay. So a little inspiration for us all along with our flow. All right. The message says the joyful muse invites you to be more playful, to have more mirth and joy in your life. You have become boring to yourself, even as others continue to find you interesting. Circumstances have dulled your edge, and it's time to change. Not the things around you, but your attitude. Blow a morning kiss to yourself in the mirror. Smile at a stranger. Wink to a child. Be mildly but elegantly inappropriate. Okay. All right. There you go. Everybody be playful muses this week, okay? National Geographic. You got some work on some ancestor work too, lay of the land, ancestral wisdom, maybe finding some old ancestral ritual that makes sense to re-enliven. Do it for yourself, do it for the land, do it for peace, whatever really draws you, but get those ancestor rituals going. Tanya, you're going to work with the winter stream. Okay. Gestation period for you. Second time we've seen this, guys. So be on the lookout. This basically is saying it's not the week to bring things to prime time. Let them grow, nourish them, honor them for how long they might take. Okay. Anita, your focus for the week is deep diving. Okay. Dive into a task. Give yourself a chance to really go deep in that focus time that you've been told to get to. Okay. All right. Focus. Lisa C., you're going to be working with the wailing tree. Okay. So some reconciliation energy, particularly with yourself and the world and way things have been feeling for you lately. Okay. Just a little time to let yourself feel your sadness, however that works for you. Okay. Kimberly and Juan Carlos. Kimberly, you got the whale song. Going to work on resonating with the water. Actually, you guys are very much saying to program your water. You can all just do it by putting your hand over your water and making a wish towards it. Water is very easy to program, or you can even just talk to it. I love you, water. Yeah, a little bit of water work this week for you. Juan Carlos, you are going to deep dive too. Okay, get really focused on the issues at hand and let yourself, go even a little bit more deep, where even to the uncomfortable depths, maybe. All right. All right. Stephanie. If I skipped anybody, my brain is a little bit buzzy because I'm getting tapped by one of my kiddos, and I think he's just doesn't realize I'm with you guys. So, but it's distracting me. So if I have skipped your name, please type it again. Okay, so I am now throwing a card for Mountain River, Stephanie. Skybridge for you. Okay, so possibility for a union. So connection with someone else, connection with partnership. This week, focus on the single relationships, though, like the ones or twos. The energies of you and me, not like the collective. Okay. All right. Mado, you can type me, please, if you want a card. Okay. Coming down the list, Alexis B. and Travis. Alexis, in your hand, the universe is your partner. Give yourself a chance to recognize the partner wants you to give a little bit more energy to putting yourself out there and letting the universe co-create with you. Give it a chance to do the work too. You don't have to do it all yourself, okay? All right. If you're just joining us, you guys, just going to give weekly cards for the week. If you would type me, please, in the comments to get one. All right. So we're now to Travis. Travis, the farther gate. Okay, bold step forward. So this is giving yourself a chance to stretch yourself, whatever maybe would feel like it's like, maybe I should stop and rest here. Nope, keep going. Don't stop yet. Okay. All right. All right, Marita, Avni, and Ruben. All right, Marita, you got the forgiveness, repairing the veil card to this week. Okay, so a little bit of time spent noticing what lessons you learned, noticing how you can say I'm sorry, notice if you can accept apologies as well. That's good focus for the week. Avni, you are going to want to focus on being lost in space, okay, and needing some direction. So just pay attention. You might be needing to ask other people around you for where you seem to be wandering off. Okay. Ruben, you're going to want to focus on caterpillar. Okay. The opportunity. All right. Is that so? Whatever's unfolding for you as far as opportunities go, that's going to be a good chance for you to say yes, thank you, more, please, and follow that through a little bit. Okay. All right. Again, for those of you who are watching, if you're hanging out and you want a card for the week, you just need to type me, please, in the comments. Okay. So getting to the end here, I've got Melissa and Shannon. You're welcome, everybody. Okay. Garden of Venus for you, Melissa. Rest and renewal. Okay. Little time to recognize that you do have time to rest and renew. And that is pretty freaking amazing, right? Like when we get the chance where we're safe enough, we're well cared for enough that we can rest. Oof, that's a good place to be. All right, Shannon, you're going to want to work on your straddling worlds. All right. So you're wandering between realms right now. A little bit of this and that. Make sure you know that you're intentionally wandering between realms so that you don't get too fragmented while you're up to that, and giving yourself a chance to just really notice how they're pulling you in two different directions. And sometimes they complement each other and sometimes they don't. All right. Come to the end of the me pleases. Like I said, if you guys are still hanging out, you haven't typed to me, please feel free. Little bit of a summary as soon as I throw a card for my husband's week. We'll see what his week brings. Whoop. Okay, he's got a lost compass week. Okay, so getting back to integrity, figuring out why you're doing what you're doing is a week for you right now, just to try to keep your wits about you. All right, so you guys, this week seems a little bit all over. I would say that if I had to really lay out for you, but what I'm thinking is going to be happening is where we're asking for a little more time to focus on ourselves and why we truly want to do what we want to do. Okay, so we only got 2 cards that are 3 times the charm this week, but I'm just going to summarize them for you again. So we've got go get inspired, just for the fun of it. Go play, let the problem be set aside, get into the flow state so that you can actually start to see the solution. And then you've got the spirit of the river, which is movement towards adventure. Okay, so that one, if you remember, is they're saying just let go of the problem for a minute and back up. All right, you guys. Well, I have gotten to the end of the list. If you're still hanging out there and you haven't gotten a card, my big question for you is why? All right. Well, we can see each other again next week. Have a great rest of the weekend and go be amazing. Oh, Christy, you popped in just the last minute. Okay, guys. Christy and Lisa and Kira are going to keep us on here for just a minute more. Let's see if they bring us any more threes. Okay, Christy. Eye of the needle, intentionality, okay? Be very intentional this week. Thread the needle very carefully. Be aware of what you're bringing in and what you're weaving, okay? Lisa is going to work on the sky bridge, possibility for a union, single partnerships you want to focus on, the energy of putting your one-on-one relationships into a priority first, all right? And Kira, little me talks for you. You're going to repair the body, mind, and spirit. Okay. So take some time for yourself and come back to what you want and why you want it. All right. Oh, Janelle's asking for Robin and Chris. Guys, good thing I didn't hang up on you yet. Okay, here we go. Robin is working on a fool's embrace. She's working on transmuting pain. If she can do that for herself, and recognize where she's holding on to things, there's a little bit of an extra room to let go. Okay. Chris, you want to focus on the netcaster this week. So preparation comes to fruition. Whatever you have casted out there, whatever you've been working on, let it be brought in this week. Okay. Opportunities are coming back. Austin, for you, you're going to work in the stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. Okay. So you're going to look towards the energies of your potential, towards what might be possible for you next. Keep your vision very zoomed out for now. Okay. All right, you guys. Now I think we really did it. Go be amazing. I'll see you next week. Bye.